there's another drama and like gossiping, and it's not that useful. Now,
Oh
I
my
actually
goodness.
never went into leadership. I don't know why.
Mm,
I think back then it was just a part of me that I wasn't interested in. I was very much just like, get the good
yeah.
grades and then move
Yeah.
forward. But I didn't realize that leadership was also such an important part of getting that better, career later on. Again, it's all of that like very little mentorship from my parents of like what you
Right,
should
right,
be doing. And
right.
also I was stubborn, so I probably didn't listen to them. you know, I was very much focusing on making the friends, getting the grades,
Yeah,
having that
yeah,
social life, but maybe not as much of like, how do I then position myself to be a good candidate for X, Y, and Z? Never thought too
yeah.
many years ahead. I've learned since. But that
Uh,
was, your young self, just kind of being like,
yeah,
just
absolutely.
figuring it
And
out.
I have to credit like that time that I was spending working with those pharmacists before pharmacy school.
Yeah.
They came in and their first advice was academics are important. You need it to get through pharmacy school. We get it. But your network is really how you are going to be able to break away from the pack. When you get there, we need you to identify what speaks to you and go for the top for that. And definitely don't shy away from being seen and from doing things. So that advice was in my head. And I knew the residency was the path from the first year. Again, I had that hospital exposure working with residency trained pharmacists and was like, yeah, that's what it looks like. Like how I want to function, that's what it looked like. The confidence I want to have, that's what it looks like. The respect, the expertise I want to have, that's what it looks like. So I came into pharmacy school with a really clear vision of what I wanted to grow into, and just really, really got, like you're saying, that luck factor with people that
Yeah.
just recognize that potential in me. I have to credit UMES for that. There were so many faculty members that just really identified and believed in me, right? And they just wouldn't like shut any of my insane ideas down. Like would be like, we should go and do like a NBC4 health fair in DC, and we'll rent a minivan and drive everyone. And like my chapter advisor, he would be like, sure, let me figure out what the paperwork process is and I'll drive you
Amazing.
guys to DC. And shout out to Bill Harbour, he was just like so such a huge force behind like the student pharmacist that the world got to see and stuff like that. But that mentorship piece is why I'm so passionate about mentorship. Like it's been responsible for a lot of what I've been able to do. Like I've been lucky to have people that just wanted to pour into me and guide me. And in my head, I just have to be like, stay open to receive the guidance, stay open to receive the lesson, stay open and listen. Like they kind of know what they're talking about. They've been at this a little longer. Like,
Yeah.
stay curious.
I know. I think that like as a younger self, I probably did not open my mind to receiving a lot of things either. But I think it depends on who you're getting the information from as well. You have to really respect those people and like, wow, I want to be like you. How do I get like you? But
Exactly.
I was dealing with just a lot of those young adult, insecurities back then.
I think it's real though, too. It's real. Like people, I think the youngest person in my class was gonna graduate at 21. Graduate at 21.
Oh, no.
Like because we're only a 3-year program. No, she wasn't in my class. She was in the class after me. She was so young.
Yeah.
And at 19, 20, I don't know if I knew what a mentor was and how to use one effectively.
Yes. No, I was also just so shy and scared to speak to people who I was so, who I admire, because again, it was like, I've always been taught as a kid, to like your elders, you respect them, but you don't go talk to them, I guess. It's a cultural thing.
It's cultural. What is your wisdom from that journey? Like, what are you sharing with other students? Like, your target listener right now is a P1 student.
Oh, gosh.
What are you telling that P1 student right now about how to navigate the next 4 years?
That's a good point. I think that I hope they know that the profession that they're getting into can be a very beautiful, very fulfilling profession. And I don't say this just to say it. Like, I think pharmacy is extremely important. You can make such an impact in people's lives. It is so crucial. And the crazy thing is, it's so misunderstood. But I know that me, myself, as a pharmacist, I've made so many, I've changed a lot of people's lives and healths in a way that I would not be able to get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful and thankful for those opportunities to get to connect with other people and be their healthcare provider. Like that, I say that with a lot of pride. I say that in a sense that, like, I feel this sense of duty to help and protect my patients. Like, there is just something about healthcare providers, and this is why we're the way that we are. But come into it learning from Sally's experience, like with her mentorship. Her experience was so much different than mine, and I think mine was a little bit more lost, whereas Sally's was a little bit more, she knew what she wanted and she knew how to get there, and a lot of that was related to that mentorship aspect of it. There was a lot of instructions and advice for her that she took, whereas I didn't do that. I was focusing on the things that maybe don't matter now. Like, I was focusing on those friendships and relationships, which still do matter, but not in the sense that, like, they matter more. You know what I mean? Like, stop focusing on, like, oh my gosh, we got in a fight, or stop focusing on those things so much, and, like, pay attention to who you are, who you want to be, where do you want to go, and always kind of focus on that rather than, like, oh, there's another drama, and, like, gossiping, and it's not that useful.
It's not that
10 years down the road
serious ever.
It's not. I mean, it's useful if you do a podcast and you have stories to tell, I guess, but so I hope that whoever's listening that is in that space, and maybe they're not in that space of, like, they're new students, but they're still in that learner phase, even, like, it's not too late to pick up that mentorship, start networking.
It's never too late.
Start being more intentional what it is that you want to do.
Like, there are a lot of people that are just twisted in the wind. Like, they really just don't know, and they think that that's only happening to them. That's the part of it that I want the narrative to change on. They really just think that it's happening to them, and it's not just happening to you. It's happening to other people like you too. And for me, like, my wisdom from my journey would just be like, pharmacy is hard, period. Like, let's just acknowledge pharmacy school. It's a challenging time. It's set up to be challenging because you're going to be trusted to have responsibility for other people's lives. Like, full stop, period. That is the reality of the profession. You are trusted to get it right 100% of the time. Your school has a responsibility to make sure that they are preparing you to be able to deliver on that. What I don't want to get lost, which is, like, my wisdom, who you are as you acquire all that knowledge is very important to that pharmacist you're going to become. So don't lose who you are for the sake of presenting in this perfect, already predetermined version of what a pharmacist is. Like what Thu's saying, like, the future of this profession, I'm so excited about it and all the innovation and the disruption that's happening in it. If you're in pharmacy school right now, stay open, network, open yourself up to hearing from people who have been at this a little longer. They're looking for you. You're looking for them, but they're also looking for you because they want to help develop the next generation, right? But that's my wisdom, staying open and not losing yourself in who you are. You're going to be fine because we already know you're smart.
I feel like we're so focused on those grades, and like
we really are.
We're so focused on getting that those test questions answered and all that. None of that kind of matters. So think of big pictures, I guess. Big picture.